We're going to see almost every Democrat cast a vote so that illegals can vote in our elections. I mean, that's pretty clever on the part of our speaker to set that up, make you all take that vote. But here's what he's going to do after you take that vote.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all for joining me today. We've got to talk about this Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. He just committed the ultimate crime against our country. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Now let's get into it. So we all have been hearing about the SAVE Act, right? The SAVE Act. Republicans want, especially MAGA Republicans, want the SAVE Act, which means only legal citizens can vote in our elections, right? Which is what it should be. But Mike Johnson at one point pretended like he was all about free, fair, and secure elections. But what did he do just recently? Now let's get into it.
The answer is that it's unanswerable. That is the problem. States are not allowed right now to prove if somebody claims on that simple form that they're a citizen, they can vote. They're not allowed to prove whether it's true or not. We all know intuitively that a lot of illegals are voting in federal elections, but it's not been something that is easily provable. We don't have that number. This legislation will allow us to do exactly that. It will prevent that from happening. And if someone tries to do it, it will now be unlawful, and the states will have a mechanism to prove whether they are or not. And to suggest that this is some sort of revenge tour is kind of a silly notion. What we are doing, what we explained here over and over, is that we have a constitutional responsibility. We have an obligation to the people that we are elected to represent, to every citizen in this country, to ensure that our elections are secure. That should not be, as was said earlier, a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. It should not be partisan. The answer:
non-citizens have not been eligible to vote in New York or, as far as I know, in any other state since the 19th century.
That's not true. The New York City Council voted in December to allow this. It begins January 9, 2023. Cities in Vermont and Maryland already allow this, and similar measures are under consideration in Illinois, Maine, and Massachusetts right now.
The gentleman with you?
Yes.
I believe those are considerations of allowing votes in municipal elections only.
Right, but thank you. That's the point. Everybody wants to know at home, why would they allow this? Guys, they're allowing it because they're going to turn them into voters. They already are doing this in New York City, largest city in America, and this is the plan of our friends on this side to turn all the illegals into voters. That's it, folks. That's what's going on. That's the game. That's why the border's open. That's why they've dropped it. Look, I respect Ms. Lofgren and all her work in this arena. Yes, I'll yield, Mr. Chairman. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this.
As a New Yorker, I would love to think that New York is the entire country, but it is not. It is not. And consideration is being given to permitting non-citizens to vote in New York, and I believe in the capital city of Vermont. I forget which that is. But it as much as I'd like to believe it, New York and Vermont are not the entire country.
But, Mr. Chairman, that's the whole point. This is what's going on, folks, at home. If you're trying to figure this out, if you're scratching your heads, you're seeing the video, you see droves of people, 2.4 million people coming over the border illegally, the president allowing, the Democrats in charge of Congress are allowing it. The deal is they're going to turn them into voters. You just heard it. They don't have any problem with that. They celebrate it. Here's the deal. We have a problem with it. The Constitution has a problem with it. American elections should be decided by American citizens.
Around the country right now is that the millions and millions of illegals who have come across that border since the borders are Kamala Harris and Joe Biden open it wide, is that some of them are trying to register to participate in the election. Many of them. We know 6 or 7 states have already done their own audits. They've proven you've got thousands and thousands of illegals on the voter rolls right now. And here's the problem. You know, if you have just a small percentage of those millions of people that try to participate, you can throw the outcome of the election. You can throw the outcome of who has the majority in the House. I have a colleague who won her seat in Congress in 2020 by 6 votes. I've got another Republican colleague, won his race by about 250 votes. It's easy to throw these things off, and you could even affect the outcome of a presidential cycle, depending on where all those illegals are participating. Some of these swing states are a real concern. So we have to make sure that before someone registers to vote, they prove that they are a U.S. citizen, because that is existing federal law.
So basically, that was Mike Johnson talking about. He seemed to be talking right. But now it says, just in, Speaker Mike Johnson has caved and will be bringing a continuing resolution, CR, to the floor without the SAVE Act. Per Punch Bowl, of course, he did. Johnson is weak, spineless, and owned by the Democrats. The Biden-Harris regime is deeply opposed to any election integrity bills, so Johnson won't bother pushing back against them. This CR will continue Pelosi-era spending up until Christmas time, when Johnson will likely pass another CR. House GOP leadership is an absolute joke, and I totally agree. Where are the true Republicans? Why are you guys so freaking weak? You don't have the spine or the strength or the integrity to stand up. I don't even claim to what's really going on behind the scenes. I don't really proclaim to know. But it obviously, they must be doing some hardcore pressing and bribing and threatening behind the scenes to make Mike Johnson go along with this, or maybe he was always on their side. It says right here, Massey says the illegals are already registered to vote, so the SAVE Act isn't going to save anything. He says it doesn't matter because the SAVE Act bill will never get passed anyway. U.S. Congressman Thomas Massey confirms that Speaker Mike Johnson is selling us out and is moving forward with the government funding bill without the SAVE Act. Speaker Mike Johnson has decided to bring a continuing resolution to the floor without the SAVE Act. The continuing resolution in place will maintain spending levels from the Pelosi era until Christmas, which we've already seen. And let's look at this clip here.
Bright, shiny object on this CR. I've never seen one of these. I have never seen a bright, shiny object attached to one of these must-pass bills. Oh, wait, no. It actually happens. There always is a bright, shiny object, a bauble, if you will. A little something to get excited about. This SAVE Act. It's going to save us all, right? And by the way, this is good political theater. I do like this part of it, that we're going to see almost every Democrat cast a vote so that illegals can vote in our elections. I mean, that's pretty clever on the part of our speaker to set that up, make you all take that vote. But here's what he's going to do after you take that vote. He's going to take it off. The bright, shiny object goes away. It's Lucy and the football again. And the American public is all revved up. Yeah, we're going to get to save it. We're going to save these elections. We're going to stop the illegals from voting. Really? How are you going to do that in like 6 weeks? I think they're already registered if they're going to vote. Some of them probably already voted. This SAVE Act ain't going to save anything. And particularly because it ain't ever going to become law. It's a false promise to get all the Republicans half pregnant. And then you're going to get fully pregnant by the end of September when you vote for this CR. That is not going to have this. I mean, I hate to break this to you. I mean, the Democrats already know this. I'm not telling you anything special. I hate to break it to the Republicans. You ain't getting the SAVE Act. It is not going to stay on this bill. Why? Because we're going to cave. We're going to cave.
All right. Getting us all excited. Representative Massey just said it's not going to save anything because we're going to cave. Weak, spineless Mike Johnson and the rest of the GOP. You are weak. You are spineless. You're always acting like you're going to do something. And you always wait till the 11th or 12th hour to mention something that you've known for months. You wait to the last minute and act like you're for the right thing and you don't do anything. Y'all need to get some guts. We need some MAGA Republicans. We need some Donald Trumps, Byron Donalds. We need some people, some Vivates. We need some people with a spine. Okay, I'm sick and tired of thinking, okay, the Republicans are going to do something. They're going to do something, and the Democrats end up getting what they want anyway. Pathetic. We're not going to get it anyway because the SAVE Act part of it is going to be taken out. And some of these illegal people have probably already voted. Pathetic. Pathetic. God Almighty. They don't think that God is involved in any of this. But see, the Democrats didn't account for God getting in the way. See, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry because God is in control. He always has been and he always will be. And that's what us warriors or us prayer warriors have got to remember. We've got to pray and we've got to alert people. I have this platform, which I'm using to alert. And I speak to people, in my family who don't even choose to support me on this channel because my views are so different from theirs, I'm just talking crazy. Where are you getting your information? Well, I'm not depending on the lamestream media. That's what I'm not doing. I'm not depending on the propaganda. I'm not depending on some fake fact check organization who is funded by the Democrats also to make me think I'm doing research. That's the extent of most Democrat voters' research. They turn on the news and then go on their phones to do a fact check. And they think they've done research. And when in actuality, they have not. So this is what's going down. Mike Johnson, you spineless, okay? You just caved. Now, I believe, though I'm not in that situation, I'm not in the situation that Mike Johnson is in. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. None of us claim to know, right? We don't know how they threatened him, pushed him, because they'll do anything. Donald Trump has survived multiple assassination attempts. We don't know what they've told that man. But in any event, we need to stand for this country. And Mike Johnson, you just committed treason. And what is treason? I will tell you what treason is. I'm going to tell you treason is the crime of betraying one's country by attempting to overthrow its government or helping its enemies. Some examples of treason include participating in a war against one's own country, spying on one's country's military, diplomats, or secret services for a foreign power, attempting to kill one's country's head of state. Yeah, that's treason. That's treason. And it looks like we've had a lot of things like that very right there in the treason camp. That's right. Foreign entities invading the border, the Democrats and weak Republicans allowing this to destroy our country. So rise up, saints, rise up, pray and fasting like never, ever before. I pray constantly that God spares this country. I pray constantly that God gives us a born-again leader. I pray constantly that his grace and mercy will bring about a true spiritual revival. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You all be blessed. Love God, your country, these United States of America, and of course your families. And as I always say, march on, warriors.